Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Challenge podcast. This is the Game Week 7 preview, episode 8, after a rather tumultuous game week for me, but not for my co-host Alex. How are you?
Not at all. Hello, Challen. I'm fine. How are you?
Things could be better in terms of fantasy. In reality, though, I'm feeling good.
Outstanding.
Yeah,
I mean, those ranks don't really do you justice, do they? I mean, it's just a once-off week, I think, for you.
it is, but let's be honest, okay, we'll break it down, but I thought it was going to be a lot worse than what it actually is, so yay.
Right.
Today we'll be looking at Game Week 6 review, if we really have to. Uh, then some player and team stats, predictions for Game Week 7, and then our transfers. And is there really a captaincy conversation anymore?
Not at all. I mean, there's only one specific man you should captain every week.
Mo Salah.
But we'll go into that later.
Okay, whose Game Week do you want to look at first? Yours, amazing one, or mine? Talking points for both, I guess.
I mean, what did we do last week? Yeah, we showed mine last week first, so let's do you first.
Yeah, let's rip the band-aid off, get me out of the way.
Yeah,
And yeah, Game Week 6, I
look at that.
got 31 points, minus 4. On paper, that looks terrible. Um,
Yeah,
Before the game week, I mentioned last week that I was wildcarding in game week 8, so I wanted to do something a bit different in these next two game weeks because why not take a risk at the moment?
of course. Yeah.
And I also mentioned that Darwin, if there's any sign that he was going to play, if Klopp mentioned in his press conference, then I was probably going to bring him in, and I had to take Robbo out to facilitate that. And
Right.
he did exactly that. He mentioned that he's looking great, so I thought, you know what, I'm committing to this. I brought in Darwin, Fofana, and Sanchez for Iverson, Robbo, and Ivan Tony. We know where that ended up. Tony had not played well, so I just over the last few weeks, so it made complete sense to take a risk on Darwin, and he played so well. He had so
He
many
did. He was
chances.
unlucky not to score at least one.
And I guess in hindsight, when he and Salah didn't do anything, it was probably a bit of an omen for me for the rest of the game week. I should have maybe seen that as a sign.
Yeah, goodness, Salah has just been frustrating me
Very
after
much
the
so.
game week one. Pretty sure for you as well.
Yeah, to an extent. I brought in Sanchez because I just got sick of Ford, and
Yes, not Alexis Sanchez, obviously.
it was what is his name? Robert? I can't remember his first name, but yeah, Brighton
Yeah.
goalkeeper. Brighton had good defensive stats, and of course, when I bring him in, they concede goals. Uh, Fofana was a bit of a risk, but again, with Chelsea's fixtures going forward, I thought that they've got good fixtures, so people are going to be buying them on the wild card anyway. So I thought,
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
that was a good enough risk to take, obviously.
Yeah, and overall, I think on a different week, I think would have done pretty well. But anyway, I had Sanchez in goal, no clean sheet. Cancelo, no clean sheet. Trent, guess what? No clean sheet because he came off at 58 minutes. Why? Who knows? Fafana and James, no clean sheet or assist. Neco Williams, assist. Yay.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was wondering where you got those 4 points. Yeah, interesting.
Martinelli, disallowed goal. Salah, clean sheet, I guess. Darwin, blank. Jesus, blank. Haaland, goal. 3 bonus points.
I mean, you could say Jesus and Martinelli were involved like throughout the match, like every minute. Jesus is jumping over Martinez in defense. It's
Yeah,
in his face all the time. So
the results for the big teams weren't, for the players from the big teams, weren't what we expected, I guess, and that's why so many people didn't do well.
yes,
Yeah. Although I say big teams, let's look at teams who used to be big but are maybe mid teams now. And one of them is a star for you this week. Not Ivan Tony,
look at
Marcus
that.
Rashford.
Rashi, my boy,
Yeah.
that star next to his name.
Tell us about your game week.
Yeah, so I had okay. Firstly, I brought in made two transfers. Trippier in what's his name? out. Perisic.
Okay. I was.
I think that was for Game Week 5, yeah.
Okay, you could tell me
So,
beforehand. Okay.
apologies for my host.
Perisic there.
Dyslexic, yes.
My bad.
Perisic out, Trippier in, and Aronson out, Gross in. So to start from the back, Sanchez 1 point, Trent, Cancelo 2 and 1, Trippier clean sheet 8 points, Martinelli 2 points, Salah. Yeah, I don't want to talk about him. Gross assist, Rashford 2 goals and an assist, 18 point haul, which is a good return for me for keeping faith. Tony kept patience, hat trick, Haaland goal, Vas and Jesus 1 point. All in all, it was a great week and a phenomenal rise in rankings,
It was.
both for game week and for overall. So I'm pretty happy with myself.
Yeah, what was your gaming rank more or less again?
188,000 or so.
Yeah, only like 100 times better than mine.
Yeah,
9.4 million. Beat that.
I mean it's hard to get worse.
It really
No
is.
offense, yeah.
Any other game week, yeah. Anyway, I'm sure we each have one of those per season at least. So I'm glad mine's out of the way now.
Yeah, I think I still have to have mine,
Anyway,
but
there's
we'll see.
a
Yeah,
lot of time to go. Good,
um,
massive rise in rank. Are you happy with your team state overall, though?
I am indeed. I mean, Liverpool still bothers me, especially with Salah and Trent. But I hear Thiago is maybe fit, so that's promising signs.
It is. You
So
you ended up going with. Let's talk about transfers because you ended up doing the two transfers that were probably the among the popular ones this week amongst players.
yeah,
And okay, we mentioned that as well last week that I could have done Trippier and probably Gross as well because they were the safer picks,
yeah,
and they paid off. It's one of those things where sometimes the safe picks do help,
mm,
and yeah, this was just everything was against me this week, really.
it was. Yeah, I mean, my thinking going into the week was just maybe a once-off transfer Trippier Perisic, but I thought, nah, I need a Brentford attacker, so Gross in, Aronson out, and rightly so. So
Good for you though.
yes, unlucky for you.
These things happen. Anyway, let's have a look at the game week and a bit of a discussion. Not completely, we can just skim through them. Any uh, high points. And I think this is the first time ever where we've had a game week where there were two different results ending in 5-2.
Yeah,
I
that is interesting.
just
Yeah,
noticed that now.
yeah. uh,
Let's just start with Liverpool. What do you think of the derby? We both captain Salah.
yeah. I mean, Everton, yeah, they were unlucky not to win the game. Liverpool were lucky to draw. I mean, both end to end, both keepers on form. Nunes unlucky. I mean, his involvement was great. So good signs for Nunes fans, I think.
I mean, we can say we're not happy with the Liverpool result, but then again, I think what Diaz hit the post, Darwin hit the post, Salah hit the post.
Yeah, I mean, on another day, could have ended like a 4-3 or draw. Yeah,
So it's tough to say don't consider selling them on the wild card soon because of the way that Trent's not playing whole games, Robbo's being benched, Salah's not doing well. But
yeah.
eh, who do you buy then?
It's hard. I mean, I've already used my wildcard, so I can only do like straight swaps, maybe Salah for De Bruyne, depending fixtures, which we'll see later. Maybe for 3 or 4 weeks, and then bring back Salah for those. I don't know after international fixture swings. But right now, I'll probably stick with Salah for his next game at home to Wolves, but definitely captaining Holland against Spurs.
Okay, and looking at the next game, Brentford. Okay, we've mentioned Tony's hat trick. Fair enough, he's a bit of a troll in that sense. Does
Yeah,
badly and then does really well, then does badly. But
mm.
what the free kick was amazing. Like,
Phew. It was great. Well taken free kick. Reminds me of Ronaldo against Portsmouth, just on the other side.
yeah, What a throwback that was.
Yes.
um, Otherwise, looking at Leeds being very open. Uh, I don't remember who scored for Leeds. Oh, Sinistera.
Sinistera, yeah.
Yeah. If we You got rid of Aronson this week, I benched him, so I'm glad in that sense I made the right decision.
Yeah, we didn't lose out on that.
But Leeds showing a lot of what they did in the past, and that they can score goals even when they are leaky, which is good for
Yeah,
them.
never give up team, which is good.
Yeah,
Other teams would have just like Bournemouth against Liverpool.
exactly. And
Yeah,
the Chelsea game,
lots of controversy, I must say.
yeah, I only watched the first half. It was good to see Fafana starting. I wasn't that impressed, but at the same time, I know we're trying to re-establish some sort of team chemistry as well. Um,
Yeah,
we played better than recently, so I think there's potential there. But I'm not going to be buying any attackers anytime soon.
no, not at all. I mean, James did look good to some extent, like beating his defender. I don't know who it was, Cresswell or
I think
is
it
it
was
West End?
Emerson.
Listen, yeah. Oh
Emerson
yeah,
started.
ex Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah. And from a West Ham perspective, not much to say there. They probably should have
No,
gotten a draw, I guess, in the end.
at least, yeah. Unlucky with the VAR decision.
VAR across the board this season has
Yeah,
been terrible in the Premier League. And Newcastle Palace, did we? I think we guessed the draw here, didn't we?
I went win. I think
For
win
Newcastle.
or yeah,
Either way, Newcastle showing that they are good defensively at home,
yeah.
and Palace doing the same thing away from home. Solid
We should
teams.
mention that they got a goal disallowed.
Okay, don't know
Newcastle, I
this. I didn't
think.
watch this.
Yeah,
Who scored? Or scored?
I'm not sure.
Thanks. Great
I'm
punditry.
sorry. I mean,
uh,
it's irrelevant now.
yeah. Well, anyway, Trippier got himself a clean sheet,
Yeah,
and I'm assuming bonus because he got 8 points. So
yeah.
I like him.
Isaac got a start again, which is good to see.
I like both those players, so there's a very good
Mm.
chance that I do buy them on the wild card, and we'll see if I feel brave enough. I could even wild card this week. Why not? When we see the fixtures, we'll see.
You know you want to.
Maybe we'll see. Nottingham Forest against Bournemouth. Okay, a lot of people were starting Nico Williams this week, and yeah, me being one of them, because we expected a Forest to win. And Bournemouth, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Would you call it an upset?
You know what? No, because
No.
the reason when I looked at it, at my team specifically, I started Neko for his attacking potential, because he's been
Yeah.
peppering shots off, and look, he got an attacking return, and Forest and Bournemouth are both terrible defensively. So it could have gone either way, because promoted teams always go gung ho against each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Going forward, though, Bournemouth do look pretty good, fixtures wise at least.
Yes.
Like this is
But
their
we'll get into that, yeah.
possibly their best run going forward now. Uh,
Not that I would be considering any of their players.
no, I mean you might consider them as bench players if you really have to, kind of thing.
No, I'm happy with my bench.
Fine.
That's
Well, you don't have a wild card anymore anyway. So
yes.
Spurs and
Spurs
Fulham,
Fulham.
Kane, right?
Again.
Yeah,
Kane and own goal, I think.
maybe.
If I'm not mistaken.
Anyway, Kane. That's the story. Once again,
Yeah.
keeping track with everyone, doing what Kane does, which is good for
Mm.
him. And Fulham, which we should say the same thing about Mitrovic.
Mitrovic, yeah.
Good finish.
Yeah.
I saw that. Very good.
I mean, they hang in there, Fulham, so credit to them. Another good win for Spurs.
Next game we have Wolves, and I think it was Podence scoring the winner here.
I have no idea. Don't really care. I didn't really watch the game.
Fair enough. I think it was Podence because I laughed because it wasn't Neto.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess Wolves also looking pretty good at home again. And we should probably mention that they're close to agreeing a deal for Diego Costa. So
I think he's on trial first, and then we'll see.
oh, okay, I guess
According to sources, yeah, shame. The 33-year-old needs a trial.
he probably does because he's probably not fit enough,
Nah,
which is fair.
yeah.
And Aston Villa against Man City,
I think this is the most surprising result.
absolutely.
Yeah.
even with Haaland starting, you would have thought, wow, okay,
Yeah,
route incoming.
yeah, and De Bruyne as well. So you
And De
thought that
Bruyne. Yeah.
connection would hit them hard, but credit to Villa going a goal down, and then the equalizer was, you, it was a great,
Very good hit. And
yeah,
obviously, in true FPL fashion, it's none other than Leon Bailey.
Leon Bailey. Yeah,
Which
as
means,
soon as the commentator said Bailey, I'm like, yeah, okay, here we go. I sacked that man weeks ago. Look what he does against
we should
arguably the
take the positive out of the
yeah,
situation that
yeah,
we called him. We called it. We knew he was going to be a good option. He just wasn't when we had him.
yeah,
So we know our shit, at least a bit.
yes,
Bleep. And moving on to Sunday, Brighton and Leicester. Again, Brighton. Wow.
yeah,
I don't have words
no.
here.
Considering Leicester got off to a great start, like 44 minutes in Natch, and then yeah, just capitulated for them.
That's true. Yeah. That's why I was so despondent on Sunday as well, because I thought, okay, I
Yeah,
brought in Sanchez, the
yeah,
goalkeeper that everyone has. He's so good defensively, and what was it? Within 1 minute,
yeah.
Iheanacho scored. Really,
It's just one of those things. Yeah,
uh,
what Brighton doing what Brighton does best.
win at home, I guess,
Yeah,
because they don't score many goals. So this is quite a surprising result. But I think this is
mm,
more a testament to how bad Leicester's defense is. Because if Brighton, who is a notoriously low-scoring team usually, if they can
yeah,
put five past you, then
yeah. Potter does have them playing aggressive football, which is good.
he does, yeah. And they've sold. I mean, they've sold Neil Mopay, and they're scoring more goals. It's weird.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention Mope.
We should,
Just
yes, because
yeah,
that miss was bad.
oof.
It
I mean, it just shows you don't hit it at the keeper. I mean, just curl it round, but in that moment,
no finesse.
yeah,
And I guess let's just move to the main event of the weekend.
yes.
Man United beating Arsenal 3-1. How did
I
that
mean,
make you feel?
it was a great beating, I must admit. Trousers down beating.
How did you feel about Martinelli first scoring and then VAR disallowing it?
I mean, the fact that he's in my fantasy team, it's okay. All for fantasy, and but then obviously Ericsson gets touched by an angel and falls down. It happens. So it was the correct decision. I mean, basically, you forced him down. So happy that it was revoked. Could have gone either way. Happy it went the right way. Um, Anthony, Anthony getting his debut goal was good to see.
That was
Um,
it was going to be none other than him, really.
yeah, right position, right time. Rashford setting him up. So good things to come with that pair.
It
Um,
is. Do you
mm,
think you're going to get any better, or do you think
one can only hope, I think. I mean,
okay?
you can't get any worse. I mean, you're always going to get better. If you keep with the same structure, same team, same style, yeah, we can only improve. And Ronaldo coming on for maybe 30, 40 minutes.
I was going to ask you what are you going to do with Rashford now, but it's a good segue into the fixtures because that's what all our decisions are based on, really.
Yeah,
So having a look at the fixtures, these are game week 7 to 12. Top of the fixture ticket for difficulty at the moment are Bournemouth, Leicester,
look at that. Yeah,
Forest. All three defenses who have the worst. All three teams who have the worst defenses have their best fixtures coming up. Are you
yeah. Like I
tempted by
said, I'm not
any?
gonna. Not at all. Not even Leicester, like Madison or Justin. Like, there's no need.
I mean, thinking of okay, all right. I agree with you on Bournemouth, and we're not really going to buy Forest, are we? But what happens
No.
if Rodgers is sacked this week? Do you not?
Hmm.
Do you not have to reconsider them then? At
Not at
least
all.
maybe on the wild card then, after game week 8. So from game week 9 onwards, which is Forest, Bournemouth, Palace, Leeds.
I mean, those are good fixture shots, but I mean, if you don't have Gross or Martinelli or Salah or De Bruyne now, then I don't know. Maybe go for Leicester.
I guess. I mean, look. Okay, look at Brighton's fixtures in game. They're in the middle of the table, yeah. So look at them in game week 9. They have Liverpool, Tottenham, Brentford, Forest. I guess. So those first two games after the wild card, people won't be buying them, guaranteed. So people
No.
will probably be selling the likes of Gross, maybe even Sanchez. Then
Hmm. Interesting, but I think for me, I'll keep faith in Gross. I'll sell the big hitters like Salah and Trent for 3 or 4 weeks and then get them back. Because I see City, yeah, in game week, what's it? After Arsenal, yeah. Brighton, oh, sorry, Southampton, Liverpool, and Arsenal. I mean, ideally, you wouldn't want, or you would want City players for those games because they normally hammer those opponents.
would you not rather want to have Liverpool players now when they play Wolves, Chelsea, and Brighton instead of buying them back in a few weeks when they play Arsenal, City, and West Ham?
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Keep them now until the Arsenal City West Ham game and then sell them.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Okay. Mm.
that's just me. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I tend to agree. I'm not going to be selling either Trent unless something. Look, Trent came off really early on the weekend, so could he be injured? Maybe. If he is, then you have to do something about it.
Yeah,
But we'll see. I'm not sure about that yet. Leicester does tempt me from on a wild card. If they do sack Rodgers, even if they don't, it's at least one place in the squad. You can either punt on Madison, I guess, is probably their best bet.
he's the only one I would consider, to be honest.
Yeah, the front line is too many other strikers who are in form for me to even consider Vardy.
Yeah, I mean, if Trent has a bit of a niggle, I would consider United defense. Maybe Dallo or Malacia for the Palace and Leeds games.
Looking at the man, look where Man United are. Look, okay, Liverpool and Man City are pretty low in the bottom three for the fixtures over the next 5 games. But
Yeah,
Tottenham and Arsenal and United are there too. They're literally all of them have pretty bad games. So we're going to see the real test of these squads, aren't we?
for sure. Yeah,
With Europe starting, with international breaks.
yeah.
So, hmm.
See if United are title contenders now after these fixture swings.
On the other hand, we mentioned Brighton swinging badly after game week 8. Do you not think it's a good idea to double up on Newcastle or even triple up on Newcastle? You get uh, Pope and Trippier in defence, and then maybe Isaac up front for that run of games.
Most definitely, yeah. Especially for the Bournemouth and Fulham games. I mean, even West Ham, but who do Brighton have? They have Bournemouth. So I'll probably keep Sanchez for another week or so,
Mm.
and then could go Pope, Isaac, and Trippier.
I mean,
But
looking
that'll,
at Newcastle now, from now until game week 12, they have West Ham away, Bournemouth home, Fulham away, Brentford home, United away, Everton home. So,
very favourable for Newcastle,
mm.
indeed.
Other fixtures that stand out here to me, full,
Brentford? We haven't mentioned Brentford.
uh,
Southampton, Arsenal,
right in the
Bournemouth,
middle there.
Newcastle. Yeah,
Brentford to me are too. I can't predict them, and that makes
yeah,
FPL for me with them very. I don't like it. Either be good or be bad. Don't be just wishy-washy.
yeah,
But like again, I'm not going to buy Tony back now because I know what he's like.
yeah. I mean, yeah, there's no point. You've done the deal.
Speaking of Fulham, though, on that same point, I would rather have Mitrovic
Mitrovic, yeah.
because I know what I'm going to get all the time.
Right.
They're pretty consistent,
Yeah,
so there's a good chance of buying him. Not this week, but eventually.
yeah. I mean, they do at least score a goal a game, which is good.
And any other team standing out there for you? West Ham, Newcastle, Everton, Wolves, Fulham, Southampton.
Not really considering West Ham or Villa or Southampton, to be honest. Good fixtures for them if they do well, get up the ladder, but not for fantasy's sake.
Fair enough. Looking at Rashford, you said you're going to keep him for the next 2 weeks.
Or even beyond, but yeah, he looks good. I mean, he did have a bit of a niggle coming off, but we'll see. Maybe hamstring problems. So I'm sure that'll be taken care of.
Are you tempted
Hopefully, you
tempted
know.
to double up on them or triple up, whether it be in midfield or defense? You mentioned Dalot already, so
Yeah,
I guess midfield then. Anthony?
I mean, for a million more, you could, but who'd you take out? I mean, I could only take out Salah or Martinelli, and those are Martinelli. Should keep. I mean, I say should. I mean, they've got Tottenham, Liverpool, Leeds, and City. It's 9 to 12, but I would probably consider taking out Salah
Yeah,
to fund him.
that's the thing. Or even up here, look, it's up to you. If you, I'm assuming that without a wild card, you're not going to sell both Trent and Salah. You do sell one or the other because that's just mitigating risk.
Yeah,
So if you keep Salah and you were to sell Trent and you get, let's say, a 4.5 Newcastle defender, then that gives you 3 million to upgrade your fifth midfielder, whoever it is Andreas,
yeah,
or your fourth midfielder to Anthony. Who how much is he? 7 million.
7.5.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the exact money then.
Yeah,
And then you still have Salah, and then you have double United midfield.
I mean, it is an option, and they do look good going forward now.
Worth keeping in mind,
Yeah,
I guess. But you don't want to take a hit this week, do you?
No, I don't. I mean, I've made my two transfers last week, so
I'll try my best to keep tempting you throughout the rest of this
yes,
podcast. Anyway, just a visual representation of the fixtures coming up. This week we have European games midweek, and then midfield, and then game week 7 and game week 8, and then there's the international break. So that's why people are wildcarding in game week at the end of game week 8,
yeah.
and then immediately it's game week 9, and then European games again. So for 2 weeks in a row.
Mm,
So rotation will be rife.
it would indeed.
Actually, completely, because game weeks 11 to 13, there's no European games, so that's a good stretch to target
Yeah,
potentially.
but who to target? That's the thing.
Yes. Let's move on to some stats to show off who we should target. Looking at team stats, because this is quite important over the season so far, once again we get to see the big chances for the attacking teams over the last 6 game weeks. Man City obviously top, 17.3 minutes per big chance created by them.
It's ridiculous, really.
It's insane. And second, we have Brentford, and that's mainly because of them stat padding against who they played, Leeds.
Leeds, yeah,
Um, Man United third,
yeah, they went up. Also, probably after the Arsenal game.
quite a bit, but yeah, you've shown a lot more attacking intent because you're playing on the
Mm.
counter. You're not doing too
Yes,
many of this pitter patter passing
no,
around thing. Be direct, score the goals.
yes, exactly.
Brighton doing well too. Newcastle, all the teams who are in form at the moment are doing well. That's
Yeah,
basically what this means. The teams who are not that much in form at the bottom, Bournemouth,
you could give a shout out to Spurs, who,
where are they?
with their attacking
Oh yeah,
aspect,
yeah. Looking,
lingering at the bottom there.
Spurs low on the table, 55 minutes per big chance. But then again, when they have clinical finishes like Kane, doesn't
Yeah,
matter really.
no,
And Liverpool, look, they're solidly mid-table, 43 minutes per big chance, but they have the most attempts on goal, 82. They're trying,
they are.
and I think it shows it's testament to the fact that they're trying hard to score. And I think they might not have had the best chances to score because of the way that they haven't had the creative midfielder.
Yeah,
And with Thiago coming back, could be good for them. Could.
hoping, yes.
Still not tempted by a captain this week, Salah.
Stop it.
Fair enough. Maybe this will change your mind. Big chances conceded over the last 6 game weeks. Uh, Tottenham, minutes per big chance conceded. 144 minutes. They hardly concede
Jesus.
chances. They're very good.
Nah.
Conte is good at this.
Yeah.
And second, we have Wolves. So maybe it is a good idea not to captain Salah. 83 minutes per big chance conceded.
Could do a sneaky Art Nori train swap this week.
Ooh, wow, that'd be very ballsy. And then you get Anthony in midfield.
Yeah. No.
Brighton, Brighton City doing well defensively once again. Opposite end of the table, the worst defenses, the ones we're targeting, are Crystal Palace, Leicester, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, and Chelsea and Bournemouth.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm surprised with Chelsea at the moment because they're just leaking for fun now.
They do, and it's a goalkeeping issue as well too. I think Mendy is
Mm.
not having the best start to the season.
Yeah, he's not that confident with his feet either. So
I think we're going to improve though because we have the fixtures going forward. So I'm not selling Fofana this week. Whether I play him against Fulham is
yeah,
another question. I will play James.
of course, can't not play James. After I see he signed a new 6-year deal, you must be happy with that.
Yes, and we're close to agreeing a deal with Mount as well. So tying them up for the future.
Just start that man, Tuchel, please, every week. Just start him.
Yes, ideally. And who else stands out on this list for you? Anyone? Nottingham Forest conceding chance. Oh, Everton as well.
Where
Everton
is Everton? Oh, there.
conceding
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
99 shots so far, but not conceding too many big chances. So that's the
Johnson.
difference.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Pickford was just bombarded with Liverpool this past week.
He was.
Mm.
Not too much else there. It's basically targeting who we know are the worst teams.
I mean, Newcastle 91 attempts conceded.
Yeah, okay, this is a good point because Newcastle have conceded a lot of shots,
Shots.
but they're very much like Burnley used to be. They concede a lot of shots, but they're not big chances.
Yeah.
So it's from like outside the box or these things that don't really affect the goalkeeper too much.
Right.
And that's good for goalkeepers because you want the goalkeeper points. So Pope is a good option.
Very good option.
Yeah. Looking at defenders, Trent, James, Nico Williams, Gabriel from Arsenal, right up there.
The centre back doing well.
He is, yeah. Standouts for me, Dalot at 4.5.
Definitely, yeah.
And
Mm,
it's really tough with Spurs because keen on Perisic, but need to have minutes.
yeah. Uh,
Apart from that, again, we're going to see the same thing with the Liverpool attackers. Trent, he's a ticking time bomb basically, and I think it's the same with Salah.
yeah.
It's You can't not have them, and you can't sell them and think, oh, they're going to continue going another 6 games without scoring.
Mm,
It's not going to happen. They've shown they can beat teams 6-0.
yeah, of course.
What do you
Quick
think?
mention to Estepinian, because I think if he starts, it's a good shot
He
at that
is
price.
at that price, and he was this close to being in my team. And
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't because I wasn't going to have both Sanchez and Purvis in my team. So,
Yeah.
but yes, he does look good when he plays, but he didn't play this weekend, or he
Yeah. Well,
didn't
he came on.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, maybe let's mention Patterson because he played very well in that derby.
He did indeed.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Best play on the pitch, apart from the keepers.
came close to scoring, but there's a lot of promise there for him as a player. So if Everton
Yeah.
can at least get better form, at least he's a decent option at 4.1.
Very, yeah.
That's what I think.
Mm,
And not much else to
not
mention
much.
there. Yeah, mincing my words. Midfielders, what do you
Look
think
at
of
that.
these?
I mean, pretty standard for De Bruyne and Salah to be up there. Odegaard, for some reason, is there. Surprising.
Creatively, he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
Sterling, okay. Zaha is always up and attacking. Gross. What can I say? Overperforming Brighton, maybe?
very much so. I'm more okay. Again, if I were to buy a Brighton midfielder now, I'm not buying Gross. I'm buying McAllister.
Yeah,
Did you see his disallowed goal that he scored this
I
weekend?
did.
Good grief!
Yeah.
Oh, what a hit! But yeah, he's more of a proper attacking mid than Gross is to me. Gross is more creative.
Hmm. How about the Tross?
Uh, Not that interested in him, to be
Okay.
honest. At 6.5,
Yeah, rather
depends
go
on
Rashford. Yeah.
depends on what your yeah I would depends on what your squad needs. But like for me, I have that Aronson spot in my team, which is 5.5, and
Hmm.
that's why McAllister fits that mold. Bruno,
Shall we mention
let's mention.
Saka since I've sold him?
Yeah, let's
Two
mention him.
assists and a goal.
Yeah, that's good man.
Yeah.
Showing his quality.
Yes.
The big middle finger to you. Then again, you basically sold him to get Rashford on the wild
Rashford,
card,
so yeah,
so it
I'm happy.
balances out.
Yeah.
And yeah, Bruno, what do you think of him? He's getting better stats wise.
Getting better, yeah. Um, I think he created for. Did he make a assist for Rashford? Maybe first, or was it Ericsson with the through ball?
I think it was the outside of the foot, Bruno. Yeah.
Yeah. So going forward, yeah, Bruno looks good. The number 10 role.
Would you rather have? Okay, you have Rashford now, but would you rather have Bruno or Anthony in midfield in your FPL team? I mean,
Maybe Bruno. I'm not Bruno. Anthony because he's cheaper. But if we have Casemiro, please, Ten Hag, just play Casemiro instead of McTominay because he was just horse. Excuse my language. Shit. No offense to him, but clearly we buy Casemiro, who's won major trophies for Madrid, and we bench him.
I'm assuming it's a fitness thing. Maybe he's just not up to speed completely yet. Maybe. I'm guessing he will be soon
Yeah,
though.
I hope.
Other mentions on the negative side, Son.
Where is Son? Yeah,
Not doing badly. That's decent expected goal involvement because it's either him or Kane usually.
yeah.
But again, it's they're not creating as much
No,
for him at the moment. I think he. I can't remember if he had a disallowed goal score this weekend or not.
it doesn't matter because the stats aren't showing his performances.
Okay, fine. Well, someone whose stats are showing their performances is. What about that transition? That was good.
It was, yes.
Becoming a professional, yeah. Erling Haaland, 10 goals in 6 games.
That man. Like, there should be like a poll going whether he will continue scoring every week, just continue to break records whilst he's fit. I mean, I'll definitely sign that petition.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned to you off air earlier, looking at the XGI delta, which is basically what they've actually managed to do compared to their expected stats.
Yeah,
And looking at the likes of Kane and Mitrovic, Kane was expected to have about 4.9 goal involvement. He's managed to score 5. So he's on par with what he should be doing.
yeah,
Expected. Mitrovic, expected 4.6, actually scored 6. Good for him. That's overperforming slightly.
yeah,
Tony, way overperforming his XGI. Uh,
yeah.
and then you look at Holland, who had XGI of 7, basically. No, scored 10.
I mean, it just continues to defy
It's ridiculous.
the odds. Yeah, I mean, accomplished Premier League players with normal returns, and then you have Holland first season and just overwhelmingly, yeah, scores double Kane. It's ridiculous, really.
It almost feels at the okay. I'm not sure if it is yet or not, but it almost feels like it's where we should just be captaining him every week.
That's what I'm. That's what I've been saying.
Be- and
It's almost cruel not to.
it's only his fitness that stops us from doing it.
I mean, even if you play 60, 65 minutes, I mean, you're going to get at least a goal or two
You'd assume so, yeah.
from what we've seen. Yeah,
Is there a debate or question for both Haaland and Kane in our teams?
there's a big debate question is, would you be willing to sacrifice? To be honest, I'll be willing to sacrifice Salah to have Haaland and Kane.
Then you have to sacrifice one of Jesus or Tony.
Yeah, which I'll happy
You
to
happy to
do.
do?
Yeah,
I'm assuming you'd sell Tony first.
yeah. You can easily put in Mitrovic for Tony,
True, I
or
guess.
even a Watkins.
No, no,
No,
no.
he's a bit more, yeah, but
Yeah,
Mitrovic
that's pushing
more
your luck there.
maybe reliable, yeah.
Let's move on to our predictions.
Yes, let's go.
Let's do them
Well,
quickly. I'll go first.
that's fine.
Fulham, Chelsea, 5-0 Fulham. Um, no, I think it'll be a 2-1 win, Chelsea.
I just don't trust Chelsea's defense at all.
Yeah,
No offense to you, but
I know.
it's the truth. I'm gonna go draw.
Very possible result. That's probably why I'm not going to play Fafana and James together this weekend. I
Yeah.
don't trust it.
I mean, I say this. I was tempted to bring him a Chelsea defender for this game, but no.
If it's James, then yes.
Yeah,
If it's not James, then no. Maybe, you know
no.
what? It depends on what happens in Champions League, and we should mention that too with all of our
Exactly.
team
Yes.
news this week. Is
Yeah.
if Cucurella starts in the Champions League this week, then there's a pretty good chance that Chilwell starts on the weekend, and then I would be tempted to buy Chilwell if I was buying someone. I'm
Who
not.
was the best defender in the game? Goal and assist, I think.
Yeah, got us 3 points. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're doing this quickly. So,
Yes.
Bournemouth and Brighton at home. Brighton
I'll say three.
3-0.
No. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with a 1-0 Bournemouth win.
Interesting.
Yeah. Leicester Villa. The battle of the sacked managers, potentially. I am going with a. Oh, who's worse?
No. I
uh,
want to go Villa. I mean, I like Gerard. I like a good team. They're just not performing. I'll go draw.
it's Leicester as well. You just described Leicester.
Yes.
I'm going to go Leicester 1-0.
I mean,
No,
by right, you should go Leicester, but
screen
I
that.
want to go draw. Yeah.
It's a 1-0 draw. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Liverpool Wolves. Low scoring. Wolves are good defensively. Liverpool
They could
bad.
surprise Liverpool.
They
1
could.
0. They could, yeah.
2-0 Liverpool.
I'll say Liverpool win.
Okay. Southampton Brentford. Southampton win 1-0.
2-1 Brentford.
Didn't know this game was this weekend, but Man City
Yeah.
and Spurs.
4-2 City. I'm going big.
I am going.
This can either go one way. Either Spurs. What am I saying? City will either punish them 3 or 4 goals, or Spurs will get that one goal buffer.
I am going to go with a 2-all draw,
Interesting.
but probably a City win. But
Yeah.
2-all draw. Sunday, Arsenal Everton. Arsenal win this 3-0.
Yeah, I'll go 2.
West Ham Newcastle.
I want my Trippier clean sheet. 1-0 to the castle.
I keep going counter this week. Contrary to form and what I would expect and want, I'm going to go West Ham win 2-1. Palace Man United. Ooh.
It is a tricky fixture.
It is. Both teams in good form. Palace are worse defensively.
I'll go 2-1 United.
I don't know. No, actually I like that. Yeah, 2-1 United. I'll give you that.
Fine, thank you.
And Leeds, Nottingham Forest on Monday night.
Forest was sneaky, but Leeds, yeah.
Leeds 2 or 3-1.
Concurrence.
Good man.
Yes.
Let's move on to our plans for the game week. Let's look at you first because I think you have a better
Yes,
idea than I do.
let's do it. Yeah.
Tell us your team.
Okay, so basically Sanchez, goal, Trent, Cancelo, Trippier in defense, Salah, Vast this week, Gross, Rashford, Martinelli, Tony, Haaland captain, Jesus, our strikers, Ward, Veltman, Andreas, Nico on the bench. So I'll keep faith in Rashi and Trippier since I bought them in this past week. Uh, just the dilemma between captaincies. I mean, I have maybe four options: Haaland, Salah, Rashford, or Jesus. At the moment, I'll go with Haaland, which I'm sure most people will or won't do.
No
So I'm,
transfers.
yeah, maybe depending on Champions League, if Trent is not well, then I'll probably go James.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
And oh, this
I
is
mean, I can't really take a hit looking at the team. Like, there's no need to be honest.
no, I agree with you there. Unless you're like looking for a way to force Anthony into your team, for example.
Yeah,
But if you're not, then there's no need.
I mean, I could go De Bruyne for Salah and James for Trent, but that's just stupid.
Yeah,
If Liverpool do
it's a bit
come right,
sideways.
yeah,
I mean, okay, we may as well mention it now because I've just thought of it. Uh, you're captaining Holland now, on paper at least,
on paper, yeah.
and it's against Spurs. And let me just remind you that uh, where is it?
Yes, remind me with those stats.
Big chances conceded first 6 game weeks. Best
Yeah,
defense is Spurs. But then again,
then
counterpoint to my own point is best attacking is
yes,
City.
it's the best of the best, and I think
Does that
attack will trump defense. I think in this encounter,
okay?
but then again, I've been screwed before, so
It's a tough one. I think because I'm okay using that same metric to then look at Salah as the alternative captain. Salah against the second best defense so far, Wolves. Salah with Thiago back, probably, hopefully. Would I consider that instead of Holland
I mean,
versus
fixture
Tottenham?
wise, Salah does look favourable, but goal wise and returns, Holland and an ever improving City team. They're just in God mode at the moment.
He's okay. Yes, I know he is Holland, and we can't keep saying that because he's over exceeding his stats by miles. How
Yeah,
much longer can he maintain this? Is it not just safer to say that okay, both Salah and Haaland play tough defenses this week? Okay, Liverpool aren't in great form, so that counts against them. Conte can pull off a job against anyone, kind of like Mourinho could. Is it
yeah.
not safer to just captain Jesus against Everton?
Make a fair point there, yeah. Like I said, four captaincy options, but I'm going with Holland
Okay.
because I've refused to captain him in the past and it burned me big. So this choice may cause much frustration as well if
Past
Salah
past
does.
results should not affect
No,
future ones
I
though.
know. Hence why I should go Rashford, Palace away.
Should go Trippier against West. It's a tough one. I'm not against Haaland captaincy. Obviously, it
Yeah,
makes sense, but I don't know. It seems like the kind of week where people switch for the sake of switching because it makes
yeah,
sense, but then they get burned. My current team is not guaranteed to be what it is. Okay, for the most part, it is actually. I'm probably not going to make a transfer. Sanchez, Cancelo, Trent, Fofana, James, Aronson, Martinelli, Captain Salah, Darwin, Jesus, Haaland. And in hindsight, now that I mention that, I'm probably going to play Fofana as well as James this week. Because
as
look,
well as Billy Gilmore in place of Aronson, I hope.
no, because I mean, look at the bench. I can't do a bench Fofana and play Andreas. Not really.
I mean, look, if Fafana doesn't play, then obviously Andres will come in. So
And
whether you start him or not,
I
it's
don't
another
trust
question.
Neko against. Oh, I mean, I don't trust Neko instead of Fafana. It's the same result basically.
Right. Yes.
I think there's a bigger chance of Chelsea somehow clean sheeting against Fulham than there is of Neko or Andreas doing well.
Hmm.
Mitrovic, though, if I had him, obviously, I would play him.
I mean, speaking of captaincy, wouldn't you also be tempted by Darwin?
I am. I
The
have that
difference.
small
Yeah.
small dilemma here, and it depends on what happens now in midweek.
Yeah.
If Firmino starts, when is it, tonight or tomorrow, then I feel safer that Darwin starts in the weekend. And then, you know what, I don't know. I probably wouldn't captain him because owning him is differential enough.
Yeah. For sure.
So
I
I
mean,
would probably keep Salah and probably captain Holland as well.
yeah. But I mean, Holland as well. He's not. Well, I mean, he might not start against Sevilla. Maybe we'll get some minutes off the bench, but maybe getting him fit for Spurs, I think.
I think there's no way he's not going to start against Spurs unless something happens in midweek, but I don't
Yeah.
see that happening at all. Would you transfer anything in this team before the wild card? Oh, would you wild card this team, or is it worth holding off on?
Fixture wise, no. I think it's worth holding on.
That's a very good
Game week.
team mainly.
Yeah. I mean, this is basically a wildcard team in droughts.
Yeah, in a way, its own way, I guess. The only thing that's lacking is Newcastle at the moment.
Yeah.
And ooh, look, if I save this week, then next week. Okay, next week isn't the wild card, so I would have two free transfers. I could take a risk next week, a 1 week punt on the wild card, before the wild card.
Yeah. I mean, you can go back to the fixtures. You can check Trippier's fixtures compared to Chelsea if you want to do that swap.
West Ham, Bournemouth, and then wild card, as opposed to Fulham, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Look, okay, against Liverpool, I will bench Fafana, and then I would probably play Neco Williams instead
Yes.
against Fulham at home, or I can play Andreas instead. So
Mm.
that picks itself.
Yeah.
Leeds, that means I also have to play Aronson. Okay, Aronson plays United, so then again I'd bench him as well. So I'd probably play both Neco and Andreas next week.
Hmm. Wouldn't you be tempted to get Anthony for Aronson?
I did not expect that. Look, okay, again, next week, if I'm saving this week, then I have two free transfers next week. So, and then I'm wildcarding, so I would have one transfer to burn.
Yeah.
So a 1 week punt, I would probably, you know what, I could maybe take out Fafana then, I guess, or Aronson, and buy McAllister against Palace, or
Maybe.
something like that, just for a 1 week. Demarai Gray against West Ham.
But I mean, you would want Chelsea defense for Palace, maybe Palace, Wolves, and Villa, and even Brentford.
Yeah, but assuming that I wildcard, I will
Oh,
already have them.
yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm not sure. I don't think there's a transfer yet. So we'll
No.
see what happens in midweek because injuries happen.
Yeah.
Don't make your moves before Saturday
That's
again.
it. Yeah. I'll probably only consider Friday night or Saturday morning. I think
Yeah,
late team news.
I'll keep an eye on price changes and stuff, and then we can decide from there. But yeah, it seems like a hold on transfers this week.
Yeah.
Wait, did you hold? No, you made two last week, so you.
Yeah, mate. I'm
Okay.
holding
Yeah,
just captaincy.
we were both holding. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to follow us on social media, you can do so. Fan Challenge on Twitter and on Instagram. And on YouTube, you can watch us at Fantasy Challenged One Word. Please do like and subscribe to our channel. Please like the video. I can't remember where the like button is. It must be somewhere down here. When you're watching it, probably more where Alex is. And subscribe, please, because we are getting views, but we're not getting the subscribes, which is annoying. But these things happen because
Yes.
who likes and subscribes? You just watch the video.
Noobs. Yeah.
Noobs. Podcast wise, you can listen to us wherever you find your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you find them. And you can follow Alex somewhere too.
Yeah. What
Where?
is my handle? Alexi underscore buffs.
On Instagram, yes. I don't
Yeah.
don't think you've changed your Twitter one yet, but yeah.
No.
Any questions and stuff, send them through to Fan Challenge and we'll get through to them. Final thoughts, Alex?
Good luck. May the best host co-host win.
You're making it sound like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, fine. Good luck. I can't do much worse this week. Touch wood, please.
No. Yeah.
Jesus. Touch wood. We all do well. And good luck for the game week. Goodbye.
Bye.